Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Muriel and this is As Told by Muriel, and I just want to say welcome to all my new subscribers, to all my oldie but goodie subscribers. Hey y'all, how y'all doing? First I want to say what I have noticed a lot on in my comment section is I have a lot of student nurses who watch my videos who are really grateful for the information I give concerning nursing. And I primarily made this channel for the older nurse such as myself who is going back, who's returning back to school to start a career, some advancing their degrees, some changing careers altogether. But what I noticed when I started watching YouTube, because I didn't really start watching YouTube until like the last 4 years, maybe 5 years. I noticed that when I would look up videos for nursing, there were no nurses like me who were like in school, who already had a family, who were a little advanced in age. Most of the channels that I saw were, the younger nurses. And although it was interesting to watch, it was fun to watch some of the things I just couldn't relate to being an older woman, in this career. Now, some of you guys know I've been in this field for 22 years now. I started as an LPN back in 2001, and I went back to school I actually went back to school twice. I went back in 2008 to obtain my RN degree, and I dropped out. I didn't finish. I was still just stupid reasons, just didn't finish. And then when I returned to school for my RN degree again, I graduated in 2018, and I've been a practicing RN now for a little over 2 years. But I primarily work in long-term care. I have primarily worked in long-term care for just about the majority of my 22 years in this field. And so I decided to make a video talking about like my experiences, and then trying to help others who are in school to get their license and to let them know what to expect. And so this video today is for the student nurses who watch my videos, who are a little apprehensive, who are scared, who are nervous about getting into this field. I am going to tell you the true tea about what to expect once you land that first job. Let's stay tuned. Okay guys, so y'all know I primarily know long-term care. I know a little about the other specialties, but I have been a might as well say geriatric nurse in long-term care. So I have worked several different facilities over the last 22 years. They all basically boil down to the same two things: time management and documentation. So yeah, like I said, I'm going to give you the real. Now this is for those graduates who what to expect. Okay, you're gonna you do your application, do your resume. Always have a resume. I will say that, do have a resume. Although most long-term care facilities do not ask for a resume, they actually have an application for you to fill out. Just go ahead and get you a resume on deck, just for the practice. It would be really good for those who are trying to get jobs in acute care settings at hospitals, because they actually do ask for your resume. But for those in long-term care, just go ahead and get your resume together. Some of you know I just did another interview at an acute care setting. It was a setting that I had worked prior. I actually, got my job back. It's on the same floor I used to work, same nurse manager. We laughed and kikied and everything in the interview. I say this to say, on my resume, I didn't specify 4 years of employment as an LPN. And when I clarified those 4 years, it actually bumped my pay up by like $1.75 an hour, which is not a lot, but it is a lot. So that's why I say go ahead and get practice with doing your resume. Okay, when you're in the interview with the DON, they're going to ask you, the same humdrum questions. Tell me about yourself. They really don't ask you anything about your family. They ask you what, why are you interested in this career. Then they start telling you about the facility. Now listen to me. They are going to boost that facility up to try to make you think that facility is something that they're staffed and this is how things run. And once you get on that floor, you are going to see that these DONs care about the bottom line. You would think that these DONs, these administrators, I'm gonna tell you like it is. You would think that they would really care about these patients. It's you, the nurse, and you, the aide, you, the social worker, who is really going to care the most about the patients. It's the DON and the administrator who is going to care about that bottom line, who is going to care about that dollar, who is going to care about that staffing, who is going to care about making sure that documentation get done. So they're going to boost you up on the facility and make it seem like it's lollipops and roses. But once you actually get an orientation and you hear those members of staff talking, y'all going to get the real. This one you're going to get the real. I don't want you to be, caught off guard when you're working and you're 30 minutes and it's 7:30, 7:45, your relief hasn't shown up. You call the DON, they don't do anything about it. You call staffing, they scrambling trying to find somebody to come in to work. Then you hear that this nurse comes in an hour late every shift. Things like that. Don't let it, I'm trying to tell you. That's the type of stuff that's gonna happen. But in that interview, that DON ain't gonna tell you that. So another thing that's the real, they will try to pile as much work on you as you allow them to. Do not let them take advantage of you. As a new grad nurse, they will try to take advantage of you. I am going to tell you now, I think it's best for all new grad nurses going in long-term care setting to work, to orient some on day shift first. You get the real on how to do things orienting on day shift. Not to say you're going to be a day shift nurse. You may be interested in being a night shift nurse. The difference between day shift and night shift, it really isn't a lot. The stress level is less on night shift, but it's just, you learn just about everything. How I'm going to say this. It's just best to learn on day shift. If you're a new grad LPN who's interested in being an agency nurse somewhere down the line, I'm going to tell you because I know it's a lot of y'all gonna take that staff job just to get some experience, but in y'all mind, y'all like, I'm just doing this to get me some agency work to make that good money. So I'm gonna tell you, get that orientation, go in as a day shift nurse. You are going to learn a lot more going in as a day shift nurse. You are going to learn how to handle family members. You are going to learn how to the paperwork to get straight for patients going for appointments, dialysis. You are going to learn how time management. You are going to learn all these things on day shift. Not to say you don't learn a lot on night shift, but night shift is a little more laid back. Unless something happens out of the ordinary, you will get that training you need on day shift. I won't even say a year. A lot of people say get a year experience before you go agency. If you get in a facility and you get a good 6 months of training in a facility, you can go agency. And I say agency as maybe local agency, maybe even travel long-term care agency, but 6 months, that's all you need. I have a nephew now who's graduating in October. I told him I wish that I could be the nurse training him once he graduates, because I will have him ready in 3 to 6 months to take a long-term care contract. As a new grad LPN straight out of school, just past your NCLEX, do not let them give you anything less than $25 an hour. I'm sorry, that's just what it is right now going in. I know new grad RNs right now, I'm in South Carolina. They're bringing new grad RNs in acute care settings. They're bringing them in with no less than $30 to maybe $32 an hour. Just 2 years ago, that was $25 to $28, but they're bringing new grad RNs now at like $30 to $32. In long-term care setting, as a new LPN, don't take less than 25. If they try to give you 22, 23, negotiate. Tell them, I know at this time there's a crisis going on. I may be asked or required to work such and such hours. I may be asked, is there any way I can get 25 an hour? Someone will try to give you some pushback. See, it's so hard to say because I don't want you to lose a job because they want to get you 20. But let me tell you this, if they try to give you 22 or 23 and it's somewhere you really want to be, take it for 6 months. 6 months, learn all you can. Day shift, learn, get up out of there, go get you an agency job. You ain't rolling in an agency with less than $30 an hour. I'm gonna tell you that as an LPN, you're not gonna get less than 30. Mind you, that's to say you may get 35, 40, or 45, but you're gonna have to get that experience first to go do agency. Okay, starting a new job. Okay, when you start, it's a lot of females in long-term care. they are catty. I learned that back in my 20s. Females are catty. I was never a catty type of female. As far as I like to debate, true indeed. I like to debate. I think that's the intellectual part of me. I like to debate, but I don't like to get in drama. I understand people are different. People are wired different. People, things affect people different. People take things to heart a little more than others. Some people are sensitive than others. I just know that going in, and I just don't like pass judgment on how people act. I just know people are different. People are wired different. People think differently. Some people don't like to hear criticism. Some people just want to be right all the time. Some people just want to feel like they're the boss. I let them feel like they're the boss because I know who is the boss. So I don't worry about it. Grown people, you may be a young nurse going in 22, 23 years old, and you have CNAs working under you who are 30, 32, 33. I feel like we all grown. I shouldn't have to tell another grown. You knew your job description when you got hired. If there's something I ask you, something that needs to be. Now, mind you, I am that nurse that what I have learned being a nurse, if you are willing to do the things, if your aides see that you're willing to do the things yourself, they are more than willing to do the work too. Like you are the type of nurse who will go and take a patient a cup of ice, or who will do a blood pressure because the aide don't have time to catch that blood pressure. So you went ahead and did your blood pressure. Or if you're the type nurse, if you see a patient on a call bell, you go ahead and put them on the toilet and you let the CNA know I got such and such. When your CNAs see that you are that type of nurse, they're more than willing. They're like, word spread. You ever work with Muriel? Girl, she's a good nurse. I like working with her. Girl, she was in there the other day changing the patient. Like little thing, but don't let them take advantage, because you will see. So you'll be in there trying to feed a patient, and you'll see they sitting in there on the cell phone chit chatting, and so things like that. You got to know your limits. But I'm trying to get it all out before my camera cut off. But try to get to know your staff. A good thing to do at the beginning of your shift is you can do like a huddle. You could do a huddle with your CNAs. You can call them in the in the nurses station. You could be like, okay, this is what's going on with these patients. This patient has an appointment this morning. They need to be dressed and ready, because once you have a cohesive team, then things will run smoother. Say it could be, you could let them know, okay, this patient has an appointment this morning. This patient has goes out for dialysis at such and such time. This patient is NPO. They can't have anything. They're on neck and thicker liquid, so make sure you don't put a water cup by their bed. Little things like that. Have a little huddle with your CNAs. Build up a little rapport with your CNAs. Things will run a little smoother like that. Also, for you as a new grad, let me tell you, this is what I did. This is what I do even now when I go in a new facility. Say I'm on hall 200. Now, according to HIPAA, you can't take any identifying information outside of a facility. So say I'm on hall 200. I will take a sheet of paper and I will write room 200 all the way to say I'm room 220. I will write, okay, it will say 220. It will say room 220. Then I'll have a C if the patient takes crush meds, or I have a W if they take whole meds. I will have an NTL if they're on nectar thickened liquids. I will have an HTL if they are on honey thickened liquids. If they just take regular liquids, there will be nothing there. I will have, say the patient has, they're diabetic. I will have DM, which means diabetes mellitus, and then I will have the time that their blood sugars are due. So say they get a blood sugar at 7:30, 11:30, and 4:30. I will have those times written down beside 7:30, 11:30, 4:30. Okay, room 201. I will have C or W if they take their meds whole or crush. I would have, if they're honey thickened, nectar thickened, whatever, it'll say HTL, NTL, or be blank. Blank means that they take regular consistency liquids. I will have, say their dialysis. I will have dialysis, and then I will have the approximate time. I will have dialysis, and then it'll say MWF for Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or it'll say THS for Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Then I will have, beside that, say their something that doesn't, I'm telling you things that are really don't change with the patients. Say this patient has a G tube, I'll have GT. Like, I'll do that all the way down for hall 200 for my patients. As a new nurse who don't know these patients, don't know these facilities, because you may be orienting on hall 200 today and you do that on a sheet of paper, you can take that paper out of the building with you, because no one is going to be able to take that paper, find that paper, and know who this is in room 200. There's nothing on that paper that identifies who that patient is. No, so you can take that, you can keep that with you as a reference. Say tomorrow they got you on the rehab hall, you're on hall 100, it's patient 100 through 110. Do the same thing. Room 100, W or C, whole or crush, nectar thickening, honey thickening, regular consistency, right leg fracture, RLFX, right leg fracture. Say something you would need to know about this patient. Alert and oriented, things like that, just so you can have that guide to go by. Keep those papers with you while you're new, because you can use this as a guide. Say you're with that facility who throws their new nurses on the floor by themselves. It might not even be their intention. It might be the intention for you to get a full week orientation, and the nurse calls out and they need you to work the floor. Now you can say, I'm still on orientation, I can't do this. But as you'll see, as you're orienting, a lot of things are so repetitive. I'm the type of person, I don't like to follow somebody because it makes your day go so much. Like, it makes the day long if you're just constantly following somebody. Once you work that floor before, you'll know, okay, this patient, you'll have your list to go by. So patient in room 200 through 25, you got everything here to guide you. You know what time your blood sugars are due. You know if they take their meds whole or crush. You can even do write BEH for behaviors, and you can write whatever is a behavior for that person. So say this person is someone who spits out their meds or whatever. You can have your little guide to go by to know the patients. It's that simple, honestly, when it's comes to passing medication. And that can make or break you, because you would hate to go give a patient thin liquids, because from what you can recall, that patient was receiving thin liquids the day before when you oriented, but in fact that patient was nectar thickened. Now, had you had that sheet to go by, you would know these things. Now, mind you, all this is written up on the patient's physician order form, but who got time to go read a physician order form really when you're passing medication? So that's a way for you to get to know the patients. Now, getting to know your staff. Okay, you could be the type of nurse who you're on orientation. You can see how the nurse that's precepting you do things. You can see how that staff interacts with them. That can kind of give you a heads up on how they will possibly interact with you. So once you get on the floor yourself, you could be that nurse that say, okay, I want to initiate morning group huddles with my staff, so they'll know what's to be expected, what they can expect from me, and what I can expect from them. So you could take like maybe the first 3 to 5 minutes of your shift, and you can be like, okay, I need to do a quick little huddle with the CNAs. I need to do a quick little huddle with y'all. Okay, patient so and so and so is has an appointment today at such and such time. Patient so and so and so goes out to dialysis at such and such time. Patient so and so and so needs to get up out of the bed today. Patient so and so and so needs to have a shower today. Like, you can say all that stuff in your huddle so that your aides can't say they were not aware, because you made them aware. Do all that in your huddle, and even throw in there, say you're working a 7A to 7P shift. You can even throw in there, I need my vital signs, done and reported to me by 12 in the afternoon. Because I'm gonna tell you, you'll come into work, and I can understand where the CNAs come from sometimes, because they'll come into work at 7 o'clock, and then sometimes they'll get pulled to another floor at 8 o'clock. So they've already sat there and did all their vital signs, and might even knocked out a bath or two, and then they get pulled to another hall. So, I don't always expect my CNAs to have my vitals done by 8 in the morning, but by 11, 12 o'clock, sometimes it gets done, sometimes it doesn't. But when it doesn't get done, I know I didn't throw that expectation out there. And sometimes the CNAs don't know you're not that nurse that's going to be fine with getting vital signs at 3 p.m. You that nurse that needs your vitals by 12 o'clock. So sometimes I'll even write on the vital sign sheet, please have done by 11 a.m. and I'll highlight it. Some of them will try to act like they didn't see that either, but that's why I say do that morning huddle, so you can make those things known. Sorry I'm talking fast, but what's another quick little thing I can get in here? Oh, and let me tell you another real, as a new nurse, do not think you would get out of there on time every day. Your schedule might say 7A to 7P. Sometimes it may be 7:30, 7:45, 8 o'clock before you get out of there. Now, I say this to say it's not going to be that you don't have your work done. You may not have relief. The DON is not going to tell you that in orientation. in nursing, nurses are notorious for not coming to work on time. I myself, I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I roll in at 7:10, 7:15. If you catch me coming in after 7:15, trust me, something has happened. I've already called, I've already notified them. I'm gonna be there at 7:30. Mind you, I know that's very inconvenient, but things do happen sometimes. People, you know, sometimes you oversleep. But normally I'm at work at 7 a.m. I'm at work. Now, you won't catch me there at 6:45. I'm not gonna lie, but you will catch me there at 7. No later than 7:15. 7:30 is an inconvenience, and I know it is. I try not to do that. There are nurses who will roll in at 7:45. Feel like you should have no problem with it. Come in with a bag of food. They had time to stop and get breakfast. Wasn't even considerate enough to get you a sausage biscuit or nothing. And y'all, I'm sorry. It's like that. It is like that. It has been like that forever. But so this is just a little video trying to, you know, get y'all ready, because I'm excited for y'all. Y'all know I want, you know, this career. Like I say, I didn't choose this career. This career chose me. I'm happy to be in the career. It has been a gateway to provide my family with the things they need. As a single mother, I've been able to provide for my children. Still able to providing very well, actually make a very good income. It can lead to even more success, even more entrepreneurial ventures. And so yeah, you are embarking on a great career. Let me tell you, it gets stressful sometimes. It gets stressful a lot of times, but just know, if you put in the work, at the end of them 2 weeks, a week, or whatever, it's a great reward at the end. And the great reward I'm talking about is that money. The money is good, y'all. We're gonna get into the money on the next episode though. This is As Told by Muriel. I am Muriel, and I will get with you guys the next time. Bye.